What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Let's dive right into our first news. Conor has revealed that he is currently in negotiations with the UFC for a brand new contract, and the situation is far bigger than a normal deal. During a casual Roblox livestream with his son, Conor openly explained that his existing UFC contract is essentially void due to the promotion's new broadcast agreement with Paramount. According to Conor, the new deal no longer includes traditional pay-per-view points, which were a major foundation of his previous contract structure. Conor explained that his old deal was heavily tied to pay-per-view revenue, something he dominated throughout his career. He reminded fans that he is the highest-generating pay-per-view fighter of all time and said the entire system appears to be finished. Because of that shift, he believes he is fully due for a new agreement. He confirmed that formal negotiations are expected to begin in February and said he is extremely interested to see how talks unfold. During the stream, Conor also spoke about the potential White House event and made it clear that it has his full attention. He said he is already warming up for the idea and expects the White House card itself to be part of negotiations with the UFC in February. Conor pointed out that the new Paramount deal is reportedly worth $7.7 billion, adding that the company has multiplied its profits significantly. From his perspective, that financial growth only strengthens his position at the negotiating table. Beyond contracts and business, Conor stressed that his focus remains locked on preparation and discipline. He said he is living in the gym and taking his return to competition seriously. According to Conor, everything he is doing right now revolves around what he can control. That includes training daily, prioritizing health, improving recovery, listening closely to his coaches, and fully committing to the game plan laid out for him. Conor also addressed mindset, explaining that external noise means nothing to him anymore. He said he may be aware of what is happening around him, but he refuses to let it seep into his head. His internal dialogue, he said, is strong and focused. He added that he is leading by example, showing his kids and his team what real commitment looks like. In his words, success is not something you talk about. It is something you live every single day. With negotiations approaching and preparation intensifying, Conor's next chapter inside the UFC is beginning to take shape, both financially and competitively. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to support the channel. Moving on to another news, Sean O'Malley is giving away tickets to UFC 324 in a wholesome moment shared on social media. In the video, Sean surprises a loyal fan by calling him live and revealing that he has won tickets to the upcoming event. The fan is completely stunned, laughing in disbelief as the news sinks in. Sean keeps the energy high, congratulating him and telling him he is officially going to Vegas next weekend. The excitement keeps building as the winner says he is ready to travel as soon as possible and plans to bring his close friend Mason along for the experience. The fan explains that he only wanted to support the brand and never expected anything in return, making the win feel even sweeter. Sean responds by saying he is pumped for him to try the product and enjoy the full fight week experience. The moment ends with Sean confirming they will see each other in Vegas, keeping the vibes positive and authentic. Moving on to another news, Jon Jones has officially accepted Daniel Cormier's call-out, proving once again that this rivalry refuses to fade away. Years after their last fight, the tension between these two legends is still alive and very real. Right now, both Jon and DC are in Russia filming a reality show that mirrors a UFC-style competition, similar in concept to The Ultimate Fighter. Being in close quarters again seems to have reignited old emotions, and it did not take long for things to escalate. The situation began when Daniel Cormier publicly floated the idea of facing Jon Jones in either a boxing match or a wrestling contest. What initially sounded like a hypothetical quickly turned serious when Jon responded. In a new interview that surfaced through a Russian outlet, Jon made it clear that he is not against the idea at all. That alone shocked many fans, considering the two have not competed against each other in any form for years. The clip itself was unusual, featuring a Russian voiceover layered on top of Jon's original English audio, which is common practice for non-Russian fighters. Once translated, however, the message was unmistakable. Jon did not dismiss the challenge. Instead, he leaned straight into it. He revealed that he had recently been approached about grappling Daniel Cormier for charity and said he immediately agreed. Jon even went further, suggesting that boxing was also on the table. With trademark confidence, he claimed he would go 3-0 against DC, no matter the setting. He referenced comments from the past, reminding everyone that Daniel once said he wanted to finish him at his house. Jon fired back by saying he already buried him twice in the octagon, and that if there were a third encounter, he would be bringing a shovel. Jon also touched on the idea of a pure wrestling match, admitting that it would be interesting to see how it played out. While he stopped short of guaranteeing the outcome in that specific rule set, he made sure to remind everyone of the psychological edge he believes he holds. He stated that one thing he knows for certain is that he made Daniel Cormier cry in front of the entire world. The fact that Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier is still making headlines in 2026 speaks volumes. Whether it is boxing, wrestling, or simply another chapter of mind games, this rivalry remains one of the most intense and personal in combat sports history. Moving on to another news, Joaquin Buckley is once again turning up the pressure on Shavkat Rakhmonov, and this time the call-out carries even more heat. Buckley has not only challenged Shavkat to fight again publicly, but also addressed recent Instagram comments that he believes crossed the line. That exchange has added serious tension to an already intriguing situation, especially as fans continue to track Shavkat's long-awaited return from injury. Shavkat has been sidelined since late 2025, and his recovery has now stretched into 2026. Despite the extended layoff, he has remained confident about his comeback. Shavkat recently stated that he expects to be back in fighting shape by late February or early March, although he emphasized that he is not rushing the process after such a long absence. His coach, Eduard Bazarov, offered a more cautious outlook on January 14th, explaining that 1 to 1.5 months of training would not be enough. According to his team, a realistic return date would be no earlier than April, allowing Shavkat to fully rebuild his conditioning and sharpness. Even while injured, Shavkat has kept his eyes locked on the title picture. He has previously pushed back against criticism from other contenders, including Ian Gary, reminding everyone that he defeated Gary while dealing with injuries. Shavkat made it clear that he does not view Gary as a legitimate #1 contender and has no intention of wasting his comeback on fights that do not move him closer to gold. That mindset shows he is treating this return as a serious title run, not just a comeback appearance. Meanwhile, Joaquin Buckley has made it clear that he is staying active, vocal, and ready. In a recent interview, Buckley explained that opportunities feel scarce, but he is constantly raising his hand and making himself available. He acknowledged that the business side of the sport plays a huge role and that big names like Shavkat are going to be offered major opportunities. Still, Buckley believes consistency and visibility matter, and he plans to stay in everyone's face until the call comes. Buckley stressed that he stays in shape year-round, remains locked into training, and never allows himself to fall out of condition. From his perspective, preparation is non-negotiable. He said that when his opportunity finally arrives, he will be ready to take full advantage of it and make a statement. With Shavkat Rakhmonov slowly nearing his return and Buckley refusing to back down, this tension is only growing. When Shavkat does step back into the cage, this matchup could quickly become one of the most talked about fights in the welterweight division. Moving on to another news. Heavyweight chaos is once again shaking up the UFC landscape, with Tom Aspinall currently sidelined. With the division on pause, reports suggest the UFC is exploring the idea of an interim heavyweight title fight, and two massive names are being linked to the discussion. Cyril Gane and reigning light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira are reportedly being considered for the matchup, although nothing has been officially confirmed yet. Insiders have floated the idea behind the scenes, especially as Alex continues to aggressively push for a move up to heavyweight. He has made it very clear that he is interested in testing himself in a third division, and the timing could not be more interesting. Even Tom Aspinall himself weighed in recently, calling the potential matchup a good stylistic fight in a video that quickly caught fans' attention. If the bout does come together, it could happen as early as March, or possibly be saved for the highly anticipated June 2026 White House event. A win for Alex Pereira at heavyweight would open the door to history, putting him in position to chase a third UFC belt. That possibility alone has added serious fuel to the conversation. Alex has been hyping up the move non-stop, keeping the pressure on the UFC and the heavyweight division as a whole. Now, Jon Jones has entered the picture, and things just got even more intense. Jon recently sent Alex a direct message on social media, making it clear that he is watching closely and would not shy away from the challenge. In his message, Jon reminded Alex that he has already beaten many legends from his country and warned him that stepping into his territory would not end well. Jon said Alex might want to avenge those losses, but added that he would be a dangerous name to add to his list. He ended the message with a clear warning, telling Alex to be careful what he wishes for, before signing off with a confident Chama. With heavyweight uncertainty, rising ambition, and Jon Jones circling, the division is officially on notice. Moving on to another news, Jon Anik has come out strongly in defense of Paddy Pimblett, while also laying out what he believes are some of the UFC's biggest problems right now. Speaking openly, Jon explained that the promotion is suffering from overload more than anything else. According to him, cards have become far too long, with 8-hour shows and 15 fights wearing down even the most hardcore fans. He believes this hurts the overall viewing experience and takes away from the importance of individual matchups. Jon said the solution is simple and realistic. Cut events down to around 5 hours, cap them at 10 fights, and become far more selective when signing talent, especially from Dana White's Contender Series. In his view, making these changes alone would instantly make the UFC more watchable and far more enjoyable for the audience at home. During that same discussion, Jon made it clear that he has no patience for the constant criticism aimed at Paddy Pimblett. He openly said he is a big fan of Paddy and completely rejects the narrative that he does not deserve his opportunities. This defense comes as Paddy has been heavily criticized online after new shadow boxing footage surfaced. Many fans have been roasting him, claiming his boxing fundamentals look sloppy, and arguing that someone like Justin Gaethje should never lose to a fighter who moves like that. Jon, however, is not interested in internet breakdowns or slow-motion critiques. From his perspective, results matter, momentum matters, and Paddy continues to check every single box the UFC asks him to. Jon went on to praise Paddy's personality and communication skills, saying he genuinely loves the guy. He admitted that while he has a long personal history with Justin Gaethje for obvious reasons, that does not change how highly he rates Paddy. Jon described Paddy as a master orator, even saying that despite getting paid to talk for a living, Paddy is a better talker than him. He mentioned Conor as the benchmark all talkers are judged by, but emphasized that Paddy brings something special. No matter the question, Paddy delivers an authentic, thoughtful, and often comedic response that is magnetic and dynamic. Jon stressed that he does not want to hear any more criticism about Paddy's place in the division. He pointed out that Paddy is 7-0 in the UFC and is nearly a 3-1 betting favorite to beat Justin. If people believe he does not deserve the opportunity, Jon said they should look at the betting line. He added that Paddy took his time getting to the UFC because he wanted to arrive as a proper athlete, not just rush his career. Jon finished by saying he has no space at all for Paddy Pimblett criticism, while still expressing excitement to see what Justin Gaethje can do with this opportunity. Moving on to another news, Paddy Pimblett shared a new video on social media capturing an unexpected and surprisingly wholesome encounter with Sean Strickland at the UFC Performance Institute. The clip immediately caught attention because of how friendly and respectful the interaction was, especially given Strickland's reputation. Instead of tension, the moment was filled with honesty, humor, and mutual respect. Paddy explained that when he first walked in, he did not even recognize Sean at first. He joked about doing a double take, wondering who he was looking at, before realizing it was Strickland. The two quickly started talking about training, discipline, and weight loss since the last time they sparred together. Paddy mentioned that since that session, he has already dropped around 18 pounds and knows he still has more work to do. Sean chimed in as well, saying he had lost roughly 20 to 30 pounds himself. He openly admitted that a lot of it was undisciplined weight and unnecessary fat, but emphasized that when it really comes down to it, they are disciplined athletes. The tone stayed positive as both fighters acknowledged the grind and the commitment required to stay in shape at the highest level. Sean even took a moment to compliment Paddy outside of fighting. He said he regularly tunes into Paddy's content and enjoys seeing his life, especially the moments with his kids, calling it genuinely uplifting. That comment clearly meant a lot to Paddy, who thanked him sincerely. The interaction stood out as a rare, human moment inside a competitive sport. It showed two fighters connecting over shared struggles, self-improvement, and respect, reminding fans that not every gym run ends with trash talk or rivalry. Moving on to another news, Justin Gaethje is making it clear that he has a very specific plan for Paddy Pimblett at UFC 324. While Paddy has been vocal about wanting to stand and trade, promising to showcase his striking and even land a knockout, Justin isn't buying into that narrative. In a recent interview with New York Post Sports, Gaethje dismissed those claims and vowed that fight night will look very different than Paddy expects. Justin said he isn't even paying attention to Paddy's striking talk, focusing instead on the strategy he has been preparing for. He promised to turn Paddy into a wrestler, emphasizing that he will use his experience and technical skill to take full advantage of any mistakes. Gaethje acknowledged that Paddy is extremely dangerous, noting that he commits 100% of his power into every shot he throws. That commitment makes him a threat in striking exchanges, but Gaethje believes it also leaves openings. According to Justin, success at this level comes down to exploiting those openings. He stressed that Paddy will inevitably make mistakes, and when he does, Gaethje plans to capitalize immediately. It's clear that Justin's approach is calculated, relying on his ability to blend wrestling, timing, and fight IQ to control the pace and outcome. While Paddy has talked about a striking showdown, Gaethje's perspective is all about adaptation and pressure. He sees the fight as an opportunity to impose his style and test Paddy in ways that go beyond trading punches. By turning Paddy into a wrestler and dictating the fight's rhythm, Justin intends to neutralize the striking threat while showcasing his own complete skill set. Fans can expect a highly strategic matchup where experience, precision, and wrestling dominance may very well decide the fight. That's it from MMA Pulse News. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for your daily dose of MMA news.